Quite some years ago, I had the good fortune to be able to visit the pyramids at Giza in Egypt, and I just thought I'd share a few of these photos with you. I didn't take a lot of pictures at the time. These are pretty much all I took, but I just wanted to share them. Pyramids came up in some conversations recently, and I thought it'd be a nice to be able to put these pictures out there so that people could enjoy them if they're interested, if you're interested. This is the Great Pyramid itself. I had the amazing experience of being able to go inside and climb all the way up into the burial chamber, and it is indeed a climb. It's a passageway about 3 feet high and 3 feet wide, so you can't stand up. You have to go practically on all fours, and it's diagonal upward. It must have taken several minutes of kind of clambering on all fours at a diagonal upward to get into the burial chamber. It was one of the most memorable travel experiences I've ever had. This is the Pyramid of Khafre, which is the second tallest of the pyramids and which retains some of its facing at the top. And I'm looking at it from the Western Cemetery. The pyramids were surrounded by dozens and dozens of smaller tombs, and there was even an entire small city that housed the workers and their families. I believe the archaeologists estimate some 20 to 30,000 people were living immediately surrounding the pyramids. And not only were they the laborers working on building the pyramids itself, but all of the things one would need for a small town, including bakeries and butchers and cloth makers. It was all right there surrounding the pyramids. The Great Pyramid is in the foreground and the Pyramid of Khafre behind it. It's estimated it took about 25 to 30 years to build the Great Pyramid, and then basically they just continued right on and started building the next one, with the third pyramid, the Pyramid of Menkaure, following that. So it was pretty much a century of continuous work to build the three pyramids and the surrounding structures. It was a small town of people devoted to that project for 3 to 4 generations. Egypt is believed to have had a population of about 1.5 million at the time, so it was somewhere between 1 and 2% of the population of the country that was devoted to this work, with the vast majority of the remainder engaged in agricultural pursuits along the river. In this image, I'm standing on the causeway that connects the Pyramid of Khafre, which is the second largest, connects it all the way down to the river. The Sphinx is to one side of the causeway, and there's temples and tombs along the sides of it. In the distance, we see the Pyramid of Menkaure, which is the smallest of the three pyramids, the three main pyramids. It has a big gash in the side, which was an attempt in, I think, the 1300s by a local ruler to demolish the pyramid. It was a failed attempt. And here we see some of the granite facing blocks on that third pyramid. It was the only pyramid that has retained a few of its granite facing blocks. They're a pink granite, a very beautiful pink color. The river and boats were central to the life of the Egyptians, of course, and their whole cosmology revolved around ideas on travel by boat. When the pharaohs were entombed in the pyramids, boats were buried alongside the pyramids in long trenches and covered up. Well, one of these boats was recovered, and over a period of 14 years was gradually restored to its original condition, and it's now in a small dedicated museum right next to the Great Pyramid that's just for that boat. It's the most wonderful thing to wander around through that museum at 2 levels, so you can see it from below and from above. I believe it was a completely viable boat. They could have put it on the river. It would have been just like the boats that were used on the river, except extremely grand because it was for the pharaoh. Just outside the entrance to the whole pyramid complex, there is a 19th century palace that was built with a beautiful garden overlooking, looking up towards the pyramids. It's just a stunningly beautiful spot, and that palace has now been turned into a hotel. If I ever have good fortune to go back there, I would love to spend a couple of nights in that hotel. It's just too beautiful for words. I did end my afternoon in their dining room enjoying tea, which was just a beautiful experience. It's a great way to end the day. Anyway, those are the pictures I wanted to share. I hope that some of you who see this find them interesting and enjoy seeing them. Thanks for your time.